Business Unity South Africa says that dire economic data out this weekend just before President Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address will confirm the crisis that South Africa is in. BUSA says it has constantly appealed to President Ramaphosa that he needs to take hard decisions to attract investment and put the economy on a sustained growth path. So what's the expectation ahead of SONA tomorrow? Cas Coovadia speaks for BUSA. Mr. Coovadia, good afternoon to you and welcome. What hard decisions do you want taken?
Good afternoon, Jeremy, and thank you for having me. Well, I think that we've been saying for a number of years that what we need to do in South Africa is ensure that government is aligned behind the president to essentially send out a message to investors, both global and local investors, that we will create an environment for investment. Because we recognize that we're competing with other countries, including countries on our continent, and we need to do what we need to do to attract that investment. We need to be at one in government, that we are a free market economy. We need to do what is necessary to attract the investment, and on the back of such investment, we can structure and build and put our country onto an inclusive growth path. So you know, there's some, and some of this is sort of medium-term stuff, but there's also some stuff in the short term. And amongst the things we've been talking about, and we have in a short-term actionable items document that has NEDLAC constituencies we gave to the president in September last year already, are the things we've been talking about for the last 3 years. So release of spectrum, it's again been delayed till March, till the end of March. Issuing the RFPs for the next tranche of renewables, sorting out mining exploration license issues, sending a team into the Durban port to sort out inefficiencies there. And these are quick wins that will release investment into the economy. The private sector is waiting for these things to happen.
Let me ask you this question, Cas Coovadia. What then do you think is holding government back? Is it a question of courage, competence, or simply a fractious ruling party?
Well, I think the last point is, I think, a critical one, because the fractious ruling party does have an impact, and the impact flows into government. It's a matter of public record that there are factions in the ANC. Well, those factions spill over into government. We believe that the cabinet is not aligned on some of the critical decisions that need to be taken. And I wouldn't want President Ramaphosa's job, but he is the president of this country. And what we would ask him to do is to prioritize being president of the country and give more time to that and more focus to that than being president of the ANC. You know, a couple of 100,000 people who did not vote for the ANC in provinces in the last elections voted for the ANC at national level. That was a vote for President Ramaphosa. And I think President Ramaphosa needs to capitalize on that, take the hard decisions, and I think that a broad coalition of forces will actually align behind him.
Let me ask you this question. Do you hold out any hope against that backdrop that you've just sketched, that you're going to get what you want? Or are you concerned rather that the speech is going to be light on detail and big on promise, like we heard last year? Smart cities and bullet trains. I mean, that's the last thing we need to hear tomorrow, surely.
Yeah, no, I think we do need some detail, and we do need some very specific decisions being taken. Already Moody's is beginning to send out messages that they're not happy with our fiscal deficit, they're not happy with our economic trajectory. These are issues that they take into account in their next consideration of our rating. We don't want to be further downgraded into junk status. So all I can say is that we would ask the president to take these hard decisions, be specific about them. And we as a private sector are ready to actually stand behind him and provide whatever capacity he asks for, or government asks for, not that we want to offer, but whatever capacity the president and government asks for, to help government take the lead in putting us onto an economic growth path. And I'm sure other constituencies and other social partners would put their shoulders behind the wheel as well.
And that's a very noble intention, but is business in South Africa not getting tired of making that same offer of standing behind government? And it doesn't really seem to be listening to you.
Jeremy, I mean, you know, the short answer to that question is that we've got to keep our shoulders to the wheel. We don't have too many choices here. We've got to, I think, continue to impress upon government that the levers, the critical levers, do lie with government at the moment, not because I want them to lie with government, but the reality is that they do lie with government. And it's no good saying, okay, if we do this, what will business do? The issue here is that do this, pull the critical levers. And then if business doesn't come to the party, hold us to account. Pull those critical levers, and we will rise to the occasion.
All right, well, the truth will emerge tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Full and extensive coverage here on ENCA from Business Unity.